Hello everyone. Today we want to solve this irrational equation. If you like to work on it yourself, please pause the video. As always with any irrational equation, the first thing that we should do is to find the range of values for x that are acceptable, and by that I mean the range of values for x that will result in a real value for the roots of the equation. So for that to happen, we need to have this term larger than or equal to 0, and for that each of the multiplicative terms has to be either equal to 0 or larger than 0. So 1 is 3x minus 1 greater than or equal to 0, which will give us x greater than or equal to 1/3, and 2 x minus 2 greater than or equal to 0, which will give us x greater than or equal to 2. And if you find the intersection of these two sets, x has to be greater than or equal to 2. So that's our first condition. Now, in order to solve this, initially we may think that if we move 8 to the other side of the equation and then raise the both sides to the power 2, we'll get rid of the square root 2 and we can solve this. But let's simplify the expression under the square root 2 first and see if there is an easier way to solve this. So we will get 8 plus 9 square root of 3x squared minus 6x minus x plus 2 is equal to 3x squared minus 7x. And from here, we will have 8 plus 9, 3x squared minus 7x plus 2 is 3x squared minus 7x. And now, sorry, this is 7x. And now we will see that this term, or these two terms and these two terms, are common on both sides of the equation. So if I add and subtract 2 to the right hand side of the equation, I can completely make the expression under the square root on the right hand side. And if I call this now a, or if I call this a, this will be a squared, and this irrational equation will turn into a quadratic equation. So what we will have is 8 plus 9a is a squared minus 2, and therefore a squared minus 9a minus 10 is equal to 0. And from here we see that sum of the coefficient of a squared and minus 10 is equal to minus 9. Therefore one of the roots is minus 1 and the other root is minus 10 divided by 1, which is coefficient of a, which is plus 10 divided by 1, which is 10. And now we know that a was a square root of a number, so it cannot be a negative number, so this is not an acceptable answer. But a can be 10. So let's set a to be 10. So square root of 3x squared minus 7x plus 2 is 10. And therefore, if we raise both sides to the power 2, we get 3x squared minus 7x plus 2 is 100. And that gives us 3x squared minus 7x minus 98 equals to 0. Now, from here, x will be 7 plus or minus 7 squared, which is 49, minus 4 times 3 times 98, divided by 2 times 3, which is 7 plus or minus, oh, sorry, this is minus 98. 1225 divided by 2 times 3, and the square root of 1225 is 35, so we will have 7 plus or minus 35 divided by 2 times 3. Now from the beginning where we found the valid range for x, we decided that x has to be greater than 2. So the root with the negative sign here is not going to be acceptable because it's a negative number. Therefore, x will be 7 plus 35, sorry, just plus 35 divided by 2 times 3, and that will give us 42 divided by 6, which is 7. And since 7 is greater than 2, it's a valid answer and the root of the equation.